Hey Pop Tarts, I am in the New Forest. I'm in a lovely hotel in the New Forest. I'm here for a few days doing some writing, working on my book, trying to get some major word count in. But for anyone who does not know, the New Forest is one of the most picturesque, foresty places, okay, the clue's in the name, in the UK. And lots of people come here for holidays, to look around and look at all the beautiful trees and plant life and the ponies that run around in the New Forest and everything. So I would be doing a disservice to myself, my darlings, if I did not go and have a little look around. So I'm going to take you with me for some walking around. I'm going to take you through some of my writing process as well in this video. And I might take you witchy shopping with me, you know. I think it's only fair. So it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm filming this on the 13th of December and tomorrow is my birthday. I am a Sagittarius, surprise, surprise. Nobody is surprised. And last year I went away for my birthday. I did a pilgrimage to Walsingham. You can watch that down below if you weren't with me at the time and you would like to check it out. It was a very spiritual experience. And I decided to do it again this year, not necessarily the spiritual aspect so much, but just being away, being alone. And this year, allowing myself to work on my book a lot as well. It's a little bit of a tight timeline because I decided a couple of months after I lost my darling brother in March that I did not want to give up the original date to go to press for the book. I wanted to see if I could still finish, despite the time that had been lost and despite the state that I was in. I felt like writing the book would still be viable and it would be a healing and cathartic process. And I've had my times where I have thought that that was a mistake and worried about it. And then other times where I felt like, yeah, no, absolutely, this is what I should have done. This is a really good idea. Like, carry on writing the book, you know, in my brother's honour and with my brother's strength and energy inside me. So it's been a bit of backing and forthing about whether or not it is actually a bright idea to carry on writing the book at this time in my life. But I'm going to give it the best possible fucking shot that I can. And I've come away to a new sort of area, give myself some new scenery, you know, shake things up. I was getting a little bit of cabin fever, writing in the flat or writing in the cafes roundabout. And I decided, you know what, I just need a few days with no clients, no distractions, somewhere else. So I'm in a lovely hotel room in the New Forest and there's a pool and a sauna and I can just focus completely on the task at hand. So I want to take you with me for a little bit of what I'm doing. So I've been writing all morning since breakfast, and I am going to go out now and have a little walk around. It's 2 o'clock, which means I actually don't have that much light left, to be honest with you. But we will see what we will see, and I will start heading home once it gets properly dark. But I'm excited. There's a few beautiful walks around here, so let's go, let's do some stuff. And I'll talk about some things along the way. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, just, you know, whatever comes to mind. And I'm excited. Yeah. Thank you for being with me on this little trip. Okay, my loves, I am walking to a place called the Pond Head Conservation. And I'm loving that it's the golden hour. But I don't know how long that's going to mean that I get in there. The ground is very hard and icy and I have to be very careful because I have a back injury and that means that a little slip or a little trip can be a lot more disastrous for me on a solo walk than it can for the average bear. Anyone with a chronic injury or chronic health problems, get at me. I feel you. You've got to be so careful when you're walking alone for many reasons, but one of them for me is the potential to knock my back out of whack, so I'm trying to be super careful. It's really beautiful. I'm walking along a highway and it's just stunning, lots of trees and greenery, so I'm loving it. I really value being on my own. I know it's a privilege to be able to be on your own so much of the time, you know. Some people need the kind of assistance that means that they can't be on their own that much. And some people have, you know, young ones to care for, or they are carers to people or whatever. Or they live in a little sardine tin with others. And so it's hard to get that quality time as much as I know I do. And so I really appreciate it. I do present as an extrovert. I definitely seem like an extrovert. And if I do the Myers-Briggs type indicator, I always come out as an ENTP, and that E stands for extrovert. But whenever I do Myers-Briggs, I do it like a couple of times a year, and I've been an ENTP for a really long time now, and it does really suit me, I must say. Whenever you read about it, it's very much my personality. But on the website that I use, which is called 16personalities.com, check it out. It's a really good breakdown of the Myers-Briggs 16 types. Whenever I use that website, it's really great because it breaks down the percentage of introversion to extroversion. And what I notice about myself is that there's very little in it. It's pretty much 50-50, but extroversion wins out. But I'm not really sure about their metrics and how they figure things out. But I do know that there is more of a contemporary usage for the terms introvert and extrovert. And then there is more of what we would call a Jungian usage to the terms, I suppose. So really, in the origins of the word introvert and extrovert, it's only about where you derive energy from. It's not about how well you can talk to people, how long you can talk to people, none of that. It's just about, do you derive energy from being in company? Are your batteries recharged by being in company or not, you know? I love being around people, and I'm good at being around people. I'm even good at stuff like small talk and things like that, you know? I've got my little list of subjects we can talk about and whatnot, but I don't derive energy from that. I very strongly recognise that I get my energy from being alone. And so technically, in the traditional sense of the words, I'm an introvert, not an extrovert. And that would be very surprising to people who don't understand that about the words. But actually, yeah, in terms of how I derive energy, I get it from doing this. I get it from being alone. Although I don't feel alone really when I'm filming, I guess. I do and I don't. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Filming yourself knowing you're going to put it online is a bit of a different thing, different dynamic. I love travelling alone, absolutely love it. I have a few friends of mine who have said that they would not travel solo, that they enjoy having that interaction, you know, that comes from seeing things and going places and discussing it afterwards. And I think that's definitely a fair point. But I think for me, I get a lot from discussing those experiences with myself and not feeling like I have to turn to someone, or I would like to turn to someone and say, oh, that's beautiful, or that's interesting, or I didn't know that, or whatever. Yes, the first free roaming ponies that I've seen. Are they ponies or horses? I don't know. Oh, look at them. Oh my God, there's a third one. This is what the New Forest is known for. Just like ponies wandering about. Yeah, so, oh, they're beautiful. So yeah, I really like that feeling. I think it gives me a lot just to be with myself, you know, see what I think about things, see what I feel. I made a video a while ago about being single and why I'm single, why that's like a conscious choice not to look for someone, and a desire to sort of remain solo for the time being. And somebody in the comments asked me, how do you deal with loneliness though when it comes up? Because it must come up, you know, and it does come up for sure. It comes up from being single and living alone as well. It's kind of a double whammy for me. And it's a few things really that I think I try and take to mind. First of all, am I supposed to feel lonely? I know that sounds really weird, but you know, it shouldn't be a banished emotion. Everybody feels lonely sometimes, you know. Have you ever felt lonely at a massive party? Because I have. Or felt lonely at a huge gathering, or, you know, felt lonely when you're with your friends. I don't want to banish that emotion. I want to give it its place if it's supposed to be happening, you know. I think that's a good idea. Second of all, should I just look at the evidence that people aren't lonely, that there are ways to be less lonely? Because sometimes that's a thing. is like I convince myself that I'm locked out from a world that is lonely and cold and sad and disconnected, and that doesn't have to be the case. I start looking at, you know, communal living and beautiful things people are doing together in volunteering or charity work or human rights, you know. I start looking at art collaborations that are happening, people that are doing things together, working together for a shared goal. It makes me feel better. It really does. It makes me feel like, okay, so I do live in a world where connections are made, and I can make those connections if I want to. Perhaps not right now. It might not be right for me at the moment. I might not feel like I can at the moment, but it's possible. Got my Docs on. Very good for walking in the cold. Splendid. Okay, that is ice. It's a bit fucking treacherous. Oh my goddess, that is ice. Yeah, okay, I need to be careful. I'm going over yonder into there for a bit to see what I can see. Oh my god, there's so much ice. Oh my god, okay, let me figure this out. Maybe if I go down this bit. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, okay, I'm nearly in. I can understand why people get so afraid of forests. They look creepy as fuck. They're so beautiful, but creepy. One way that I think loneliness comes into my life, to be honest with you as well, is this notion that I might sometimes have, this mistaken notion that I have, that I need someone to understand what it is that I've just experienced, or what it is that I'm thinking, what it is that I'm going through. And until that happens, I'm going to feel desperately lonely. But actually, some things just defy the ability to explain. And some things are still in flux, so you can't really explain. And when you try to, it's just this clumsy, you know, stuff that comes out that doesn't really match what's going on inside anyway, and might confuse people, or they might try and comfort you, but they might not really understand what's happening. And I think you can tell yourself that that means that you should feel lonely about it, but really, that's a natural thing, to feel like you and you alone are experiencing this wild ride. And I think it's about self-trust for me. You know, whenever I feel like I need someone to get it, I need someone to tell me that they understand what's happening to me, the thing that I've just experienced or witnessed or gone through, I try and come back to, well, you understand it, you're going through it, you're meeting it out. You don't always need somebody to be able to nod and say, I get you, I've been there. That's a beautiful feeling, but so's the feeling of going through something completely solo and holding your own hand, looking at yourself, doing that sacred mirror work and being like, take a deep breath, this is fucking wild, let's do this, and being excited about it. It sounds scary even as I'm saying it. This notion that you would be going through something so mammoth and so jumbled and scary, and there'd be no one there with you to say, oh, I feel the same shit, you know. But actually, it's very life enhancing. It's very life enhancing to be in a position where you are the only one that right now in this moment is going through the specific things that you're going through, and you can't seem to find anyone that really gets it. Being okay with that is very strong, and I think it leads to good things. Not gonna lie, this is the only drawback to the New Forest. Horse and pony poo.
Hey cherry pies, it's my birthday at the time of filming this. It is the morning of my birthday, and I wanted to take you with me today. I spent my birthday on my own during lockdown. I live alone and it was lockdown. I spent my birthday on my own last year in a much more happy way. I went on my pilgrimage to Walsingham, which was a very beautiful, sort of like very high spiritual experience for me. And if you haven't seen that pilgrimage, I'll leave the video down below. You can check it out. It's like 1 hour and 40 minutes, okay? Full warning. It's like a short film size video, or like an average film size video. But it, you know, hopefully it's worth it for you, especially if you work with the Holy Mother or you have any interest in Mother Mary. I wanted this year to be different. I'm working on a book. I've lost a lot of time on the book because of the tragic death of my brother in March and everything that I've been dealing with around that, needing to not work as much. You know, it's been a really tough time and I had to stop writing for quite a while, but I decided that I was going to keep the original date to go to press and the original publication date, I decided it would be good for my mental well-being to have that to focus on. I have definitely changed my mind about that back and forth. Occasionally I have thought to myself that I made the wrong decision and that I would have to call my publisher and, tell them that I had to stop the book. But other times when I've gotten into it and I've been writing it and it's just poured out of me, I felt like it was the right decision. So I don't think you can ever really know with this. It's day by day. But I'm here to work on the book also. Today, though, I think I might go into a neighbouring village called Burley. There are 2 witchy shops in Burley. So I'm going to go and do a little bit of witchy shopping. Don't know if I'm going to get anything. I'm not sure. I have had a little sneaky look at the inside of these places. I like the look of one of them more than the other. One of them seems more legit witchy and the other one seems more sort of broadly spiritual. But we'll see. And I'll have a look around Burley and hopefully take you on a bit of a nature walk, who knows. Then I'm going to come back to the hotel, have another dip in the hotel pool, and then I'm going to write. So it's really not, the big grandiose planned out birthday experience that last year was. And that's partly because, I think keeping it low key this year is in alignment with where I am emotionally. I always spoke to my brother on the phone on my birthday. And last year, the conversation that I had with him was one of the best conversations that I ever had with him. It was great. We talked for ages while I was in the hotel, and that was the day that he told me that he believed that he and I have a cosmic connection. And that was just meant a lot to me. That conversation meant a lot to me. And I agreed. I said, we do. It's cosmic. It's next level. And of course, I'm relying on that now. So I don't know how I'm going to feel today. I could be very up and down. So I didn't want to plan something that was really overblown, where I had this very rigid structure and these hopes and desires for what the day was going to be like, because that's not going to be good for me this year. If things go off track, it's going to feel 10 times worse than it would, if an ordinary plan went off track. If you just planned something beautiful and it didn't quite rise in the oven, that's doable. You can work with that. But for me this year, I just worried that it was going to be too emotionally high risk. So I'm just going to go and look around some shops and maybe do some journaling. I definitely want to do a reading for myself, because I always do a big birthday reading for myself every year. So I might show you a little bit of that reading, or kind of talk you through what I feel like came through in the cards. I don't know, it depends how vulnerable I want to get today. I already did get myself a birthday present. I did a tiny little bit of thrift shopping, charity shopping yesterday, and I got this really beautiful black polo neck top. I'm in my Steve Jobs era. I don't know what it is, guys, but I'm just going fully Steve Jobs lately. I just want myself a tight black, polo neck. So I got one of them, immediately spilt vegan mango yogurt down it. So I gave it a little wash in the sink and it's now drying on the heater. But I also got this amazing skirt. Look at this skirt. Oh my God, guys, look at the shininess of it. Look how pretty it is. It's kind of Christmassy, isn't it? It looks absolutely amazing with the black, previously mentioned yogurt-laden top. So I'm really, really happy with that. And I'm definitely up for doing a little bit more charity shopping today. They have great charity shops here, really good. So I'm definitely going to treat myself a little bit, because I'm thinking about doing a depth year next year. So no clothes for me next year. So I need to make sure that I get it all out of my system this month, because I definitely think I'm going to put myself on some sort of clothing buying ban. I love me a good thrift, but clothing, it gets out of hand. I have more than enough of it. I do not need more. So I'm trying to sort of, go deeper with what I have. And if you're wondering what a depth year is, or if you would like to know what my experience of doing a depth year was like in 2019, I will leave my depth year 2019 playlist down below. And there is an amazing Facebook group, and I will leave that down below as well. So, yeah, that's me for now. I guess I'm going to go and get myself some kind of breakfast. I was considering the vegan cooked breakfast. I don't usually go for a cooked breakfast, but I do have, you know, a lot of moving around to do, and I want to have a lot of energy. So I don't know. I just got the muesli and the fruit salad yesterday, which is much more of a normal breakfast for me. But I don't know. I might get there and feel like having something cooked. Who knows? And I'm just going to read my book and relax. I've already gotten some beautiful messages from friends and from my mum, a very emotional message from my mum. And my mum said to me, I know it's going to be a really difficult, bittersweet day, you know, but Nick's giving you a big hug. I know he is. So that's good. That was a really beautiful message. And she said, having me was one of the happiest days of her life. And I said, the day you had me was one of the happiest days of mine. I just didn't know it yet, because this life is good. It's very hard, but it's very good. Sorry if this is a bit of a roller coaster already, but you know what? You've committed, so you may as well see it through, all right? I've no idea what this video is going to be like, but I want to make it. I want to make it because I think this is it's important for me. So yeah, okay, let's do this thing. Apparently, this house is a good house to get food. So they're all keen on this one. So the main shop that I really wanted to go to while I was here is closed. Yeah, a little bit difficult when you come to a tiny little village and you want to go to a teeny little shop, because they can pretty much keep what hours they want. But I'll see whether or not they reopen. Yeah, I just got a few bits in the other one along there, although I would argue that that's not really witchcraft centric. And now apparently there's another one here that I didn't even know about, so I'm going to go and find that one now. So this is Coven of Witches. I've just been inside. I like the flag they're flying. I'm feeling that shit. Like historically significant for witches, because it used to be owned by Sybil Leek. And yeah, she was kind of a big deal. For anyone who doesn't know, like, Sybil Leek is one of these sort of celebrity English witches that sort of peaked in the 1950s, and made some pretty big claims about how she got her training and how she learned everything, you know, kind of like Gerald Gardner type claims, you know, like that she was initiated into a hereditary tradition and stuff like that. I don't know that much about Sybil Leek, but I do know that she lived here for quite some time, and she brought notoriety to the place for that reason. And that's why, like, it's got kind of a little gaggle of witchy shops, although less than it used to. Unfortunately, it appears that there was a massive shop here called the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which I very much would have liked to go in, but it's now closed down. Such is the state of the economy, darlings. But yeah, so basically, Sybil Leek apparently used to walk up and down Burley High Street with a jackdaw on her shoulder. Such is the legend, all right? I don't think anyone's actually got any pics of this, but it sounds cool.
So apparently opinion on her was quite divided in the small village of Burley. Some people were glad of the tourism and they quite liked the, edge that it gave to this tiny little town in the New Forest, a little village. Some people were not feeling it whatsoever and were irritated by her presence. And apparently the landlord eventually didn't renew her lease because I presume the landlord was one of those people who wasn't really feeling Sybil Leek. But she published several books. One of them that I know is Diary of a Witch, but she published lots of others as well. But I'm no witch historian, darlings. I never claimed to be. Okay, I just know that she used to live around here, and that is the big sort of witch connection. Let me have a look at what I'm doing here. I don't really want to go over the cattle grid, but there doesn't appear to be a gate I can get through, or is it over there? I don't know. Am I even in the right place? Is this Burley Park? I don't know. I just fancy to turn around it for a bit. Right, I'm in Burley Park. I've been reliably informed. Reliably informed by Google Maps, because there's no signage that I can see. Look at this absolute beast. Look at it. Oh my God, how gorgeous. Gonna go and see a few sexy looking trees. And then I might skip all that bus stuff and get a cab, depending on how much it is, back to my hotel. I think it's like a 15-minute car ride. I've got no idea what the vibe is at the moment with cabs here. Everything has gone up monstrously in the UK. But I'll be completely honest with you guys, on the way here, I felt like I was on my way to Mordor. In fact, I was going to say it's not terribly well connected by bus, but in fact, I had to get off at Brockenhurst to change for a bus to Burley. And when I tell you, when I got off the bus at Brockenhurst, I said to the driver, do I wait here for the bus to Burley, or is there another station? And he said, there's no bus to Burley. And I went, yeah, there is. I've looked online. It's called the 16. It's a bus to Burley. He went, well, you know more than I do, because there's never been one that I know of. Super rude. I don't know why he was so arsey with me about it. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm sure I'll figure it out. He's kind of sniggering at me, as I made my way off the bus. I thought to myself, he must not know, because I'm sure there is, the internet doesn't lie, sir. Anyway, I got to the bus stop that the internet was reliably informing me was the bus stop to here. There was actually no listing for the number bus that I wanted, but I waited and had faith, and it did turn up. So basically, I am in the sticks, all right? Not even the bus drivers know what the fuck is going on, okay? You know what? I came in well under budget today, guys. I was going to give myself £100 to spend. I was super excited. I knew that there were 2 witchy shops, and then I realised there was that other little place, and I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be awesome. But I just wasn't really feeling anything that much. There was a lot of crystals. Don't really buy brand new crystals anymore. The books were not really the type of books that I'm into necessarily. I did get a few. I did get 2. Well, a third one if you count the second-hand English fairy tales edition that I found. That's really cool. But yeah, basically just I wasn't in the market for anything. I got 2 books basically. So maybe I will splash out on a cab, fuck it, since I didn't buy anything. But it was nice to just get a vibe anyway. I don't know what kind of sexy ass hotel is over there, but I'm gonna move in. Hello. Looks pretty. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the day in the hotel writing. And tomorrow I'll do another big walk. I think a sunrise walk tomorrow, just to say goodbye in style. This has been a really glorious trip. I was just expecting a little bit more witchy consumerism, but it's fine. Yeah. Oh wow. This is a very scary looking tree over there. That's been hit, I think. Has it been hit by lightning, or am I just fucking lying to myself and you? I don't know, but if you think I'm not going over there, son, you're mistaken. So I've arrived at the scary looking tree that looks like it's been hit by lightning. It's absolutely so epic. It looks like something from a fairy tale. And look what it's got on the bottom of it. Keep 20 meters from the trunk of this tree. Like, why? Keep 20 meters from the trunk. It's like, is the ground unstable around there? Like, could it fall over at any moment? I see there's a split there. That branch is definitely splitting away. But like, in fact, you know what? I'm too close already. That's not 20 meters from the trunk of the tree, bitch. It's just like so weird. It's very, very cool. Please don't kill me, tree. And look at these babies. Oh, I wish I had something to feed them. Oh God, they're beautiful. Honestly, I always say, if human babies came out and looked like that, I'd already have 20. Oh, they're nervous of me, I understand that. Look at that beast of a hotel though, it's really pretty, isn't it? Very nice. Hey babies. Hi. Oh, he's beautiful. Hey. It's absolutely made my birthday. Haven't been this close to one in a while. Oh God, look. Beautiful. It's like that. Oh, I love a robin. I really do. They're just perfect. That was a gift. I love a close encounter with a bird. It's gorgeous. I don't know like why that's there, but it's a beautiful like old school caravan and it just looks so gorgeous. Just there under that tree. It looks like the tree's actually sort of framing it. It's gorgeous. So pretty. Be a bit cold to live in this time of year, like, but it just looks so stunning. It's like a painting. Wow. Guys, it just started raining. I literally just got into my hotel room and the heavens started to open. I am so fucking lucky. Lucky witch. Like, it's been dry all day and as soon as I got in, yeah, started chucking it. Nice. Not that I mind being stuck in the rain, but yeah, I didn't really fancy it today. And yeah, there we go. It's raining and I'm inside, nice and toasty. Guys, I'm freaking out, okay? Because I'm about to start writing more and I'm frightened, quite frankly. I'm freaked out and I've got writer's block. But I need to do this shit. No, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for myself. Right, okay. Let me figure out where I'm starting and I can do this. Yes, this is what's gonna happen. I can't describe to you the amount of resistance this is for me. Like, fuck. Okay, keep going. I totally failed to get up for my sunrise walk. I didn't go to sleep until 4 in the morning because I felt sick. I don't know what happened. I just started to feel, I went for a swim, a birthday swim in the hotel pool. Lovely. Did a little bit more writing, freaked out about the writing. Didn't know if I liked it or not. And then I started to feel really sick and I got a headache. So I woke up at like 6:30 and I thought, you're not going to do a sunrise walk on 2.5 hours sleep because you're a public advocate for self-love and that would be distinctly hypocritical. So I went back to sleep. I am now walking around the small town, is it a town or a village? I don't know, of Lyndhurst in the New Forest. I've checked out about 5 minutes ago. I've already seen some horses and now I'm going to try and find me some churches. So you guys can come with me because I guess this is not the content I was hoping for and that I was imagining, but it's content nonetheless. It's honest content. There are Ukrainian flags all over this tiny town, and it's beautiful to see. And there's one right here too, right on me. For all my Ukrainian peeps, I know some of you are watching. Slava Ukraina, Heroyam Slava. Whew, I'm feeling really raw about the war today. I'm feeling raw about the war and my brother. I'm not feeling raw about this church though. What the fuck? Look at it. No idea what type of church this is, but you best believe I'm going in. The weird thing about witches, we often tend to love churches. It's distinctly blasphemous, isn't it? Let's have a little gander. Oh my goddess, this is just beautiful, guys. What the fuck? Oh, little English churches just absolutely do me in, I'm not gonna lie. It looks Catholic to me. Yeah, let's have a little look and see. It's only a very tiny church. It's not open. It's only open for mass times, which is a bit shit if you really badly need to sit in the house of God, isn't it? It's a good job I'm pagan. I can just go anywhere. This looks a bit precarious though, doesn't it? Oh well, you've got to make do and mend, I suppose. It's a very pretty little place. Okay, let's move on. Oh, here she is, my lady. The one and only. Oh, that's beautiful to see. Oh, it's just gorgeous that you can actually see these beautiful little jewels studded all over the British land. I was going to say countryside, but there's a lot of impressive Catholic churches in beautiful built up areas too. And I guess that's old Eddie the Fesser. Eddie the Fess up, mate. Edward the Confessor. I'm being silly, I'm sorry. So going in here. Oh, the robins. I'm going in here, come on, you know I am. Let's not be silly. I'm gonna do some shopping in this town to heal my pain. don't do that. That's I'm serious now. That's not what I'm doing. Well, maybe I'm doing that bit. Okay, I got some beautiful stuff in the wood shop place, but should I risk going in there? Should I risk going in this like fucking antique store, guys? What the fuck? Am I going to be able to leave without something? Oh no. Oh my god, look at it though, look. I'm going to have to take my chances, I think. Oh no, it's full of signs that I should go in. I'm just going to go in. Oh my days, there's so many beautiful antique jewellers and vintage places. Oh my god, look at that box. Look at that box. Everything's making me cry. This blue here reminds me of, it's reminding me a lot of St. Petersburg and the stars, the black raw iron stars. So I must have, that must be, it's like tapping me into a strong memory. And here, I mean, come on, like I'm just obligated really. I'm obligated, it has to happen. Just to show you guys on the way to Mad Hatter Tea Rooms, this beautiful looking church. St. Michael and All Angels, very pretty. Not the quaint little thing that the last one was, but well worth a look. Yeah, I thought I'd pop up on the way. Let's have a little look around the outside. It is open, but for some reason I never feel as much of an urge to go into a church that isn't Catholic. I guess I feel more at home in a Catholic church, which is weird because I wasn't raised Catholic, but I was raised in a Catholic family, right? So I didn't used to go to mass regularly, but I used to go to mass with my nana whenever I was with her up north, and I fucking loved it. It just felt so homely. Let's have a little turn around the cemetery. As many of you know, I'm a huge fan of a cemetery. It really does it for me. Oh, look at this beautiful bench here. It's just calling my name. Do you think if I sat down here and showed you what I got at the woodwork shop that somebody would walk by and be like, what the fuck? are you doing? You're talking about consumerism just amongst the dead. Okay. Oh wow, this is an Instagram moment, guys. I'm gonna have to take a photo for Instagram. Do forgive me, I'll be right back. Do you know, cemeteries do something really specific to my beingness, especially with the trees intermingling with the stone and the way they are throughout the year, the way the light changes, the mottled names you can barely read sometimes, the engravings and stuff, and just the peace. It's strange because at this moment, you know, on my journey, in my life journey, I'm actually stunned that I could hold so much pain in my little 5-foot frame and still carry on. Every day I'm just in an immense amount of pain from grieving, and yet, you know, and yet, basically that's the end of the sentence, I suppose. There's just so much to feel grateful for and to be wowed by and to stop and appreciate. It's just incredible how both things can be happening at once. Oh, the bells. That's beautiful. Oh, I suppose it means it's time for the Mad Hatter tea rooms then, darlings. Oh my god. Oh. What? Painting the roses red. Oh, this is just like right up my alley. Perfect. Okay guys, so I was just in the Mad Hatter tea rooms. It was very charming in there, and I got into a conversation with the owner on the way out. She said, if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, you might want to know that Alice Liddell's grave is in the churchyard a couple of shops down. If you go up the steps, it's like a basic grave with a concrete surround, and that's Alice Liddell's grave. I was like, oh, that's why there's so much Alice in Wonderland stuff around here, because there's like a White Rabbit pub, there's the Mad Hatter tea room, there's quite a lot of shops have Alice things. In fact, I bought an Alice thing in the woodwork shop. 2 Alice things. So I was like, why is there so much Alice stuff? But I just didn't feel curious enough to look it up, I suppose. I guess I would have done when I got back. But if I'd have done it when I got back, I would have missed Alice's grave. Right there. Apparently when she died she was called Mrs. Reginald Hargreaves, which I think is quite rude. Mrs. your husband's name. I'm not into that. Very interesting and kind of sinister as well, because I don't know how many of you know, but really Alice in Wonderland, in my personal opinion and in the opinions of many people, okay, who know a thing or two, Alice in Wonderland was just a massive exercise in grooming. All right, Charles Dodgson was dodgy. Okay, I'm sorry. I know some of you don't want to hear it, okay? And I've definitely said in a live a really long time ago, or in a video or something, about Charles Dodgson. And someone in the it was in a video, because someone in the comments was like, he absolutely was not into Alice in a sexual way. And I was like, oh, come on. Her family took her away from him. He wasn't allowed to see her anymore because things just got way out of hand. There's pages ripped out of his diary, so his family is obviously trying to hide something. And if you read some of the entries from his diary, I think they're about dark things, but he's trying to say it in a way that if it was ever found, it would be, you know, what's the word? Enigmatic? Mysterious? What the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I love Alice in Wonderland as much as the next girl, okay? Alice in Wonderland is incredible, but it was a concerted effort to fascinate and enchant an underage girl. And her family knew that shit, okay? So, yeah. Apparently, in the summertime, that grave grows white and red rose bushes. That's what the owner of Mad Hatter Tea Rooms just said to me, and I think that's also weird, right? Because if you think about it, why would that be done unless it was conscious? But why would it be conscious when she wasn't even allowed to talk to him anymore from like when she was a kid? They stopped him from seeing her. So I find that interesting. It must have been a conscious choice. Maybe it wasn't, but like white and red rose bushes. In the summer, apparently, there's a white and a red rose bush that flower on top of the grave. I just find that interesting. Maybe a coincidence? Who knows? I have to do some more digging. I'm going to go down a hole. I'm going to go down an Alice-shaped rabbit hole. By the way, just before I sign off on that part of it, okay, I'm not saying that adults who are incredibly talented and creative cannot make things for children without it being sketchy. Okay, like my uncles, plural, used to do cool things and make things and have ideas and tell stories and take us on trips and stuff like that. And, you know, I had a lot of creative, talented, inspiring people in my life when I was young who did things for me in a considered way, and gave them to me as gifts, gave me experiences that inspired me. I'm not saying like it has to automatically be sketchy, that just because a guy wrote a book that was inspired by this young girl and was designed to entertain her and her sisters, that it has to be sketchy. But there is other evidence around it, okay? There's other evidence around it, that's all I'm saying. And the family knew it was inappropriate. They entertained it at first because he was a very cool and important man, and they thought he would be good for the girls, but then they took the girls away from him. They were like, no, this is getting a bit weird now. So, you know, I think that was for reasons. I might need to have a look at the photos again. I think did he take some photos of Alice that were considered to be, but they weren't, I can't remember. It's a long time since I looked into it all, but Charles Dodson was Dodge, that's all I'm saying, all right? But fucking great book, all right? A lot of wondrous things can come from sinister origins, apparently. I did not get into this chat with the owner of the Mad Hatter Tearoom. I didn't know whether or not she would want to get into that. Nobody really wants to talk about grooming underage girls while they're just having a pot of tea. Okay, note to self, find out what these are called and make one. These are fucking brilliant. I've never seen something like that before. It looks like art, but it also looks delicious. I've been doing some thrifting, guys, but I've just noticed that they do vegan cream tea here, savoury and sweet, which is very rare. When you see a cream tea place, especially in a small town or village, there isn't really a decent vegan option for cream tea. You kind of just have to get tea. So I'm definitely going in there. I'm just going to hit up a few more charity shops and then I'm in there like swimwear. It says they would like us to try it and see what we think, so I'll give my opinion. I'm in the Greenwood Cafe. They make the vegan clotted cream on site, and when I tell you I'm crying, it tastes so fucking good. Oh my god. This is the most English a vegan can get. I absolutely adore this dilapidated old house that is blatantly been condemned, right? They're gonna have to do something with it. It can't stand, I don't think, but the birds sitting on the chimneys, this is a piece of me, guys. This is how my heart feels inside right now. And look at that sun coming to rest on that wall. That is a painting. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's filling my heart up. It's making me cry. Everything's making me cry today, but especially this is how I feel, and this is okay. This is allowed. This is just as beautiful as anything else. This is the end of my time away video. I'm really ill. I mean, not really ill, but I have like a bit of a sore throat, obviously scratchy, weird voice. Don't know how well that's coming across in the video, but I sound very odd. I have got floppy limbs and just in general pretty tired. So yesterday on my way home, every train was delayed. My bus was delayed by about 35 minutes or so. So it was a lot of standing around on icy platforms.
And as much as I am mostly quite careful when I'm around people, you know, like if, you know, when I'm asked where I want to be seated, I always choose somewhere away from other people. And like, you know, I'm quite cognizant of there still being like a big lurgy around, and actually in the winter, loads of little lurgies as well, loads of lesser lurgies. Even though I'm cognizant of that, you know, you go around, you live your life, you're going to pick things up. And I don't feel too crash hot. So, but I did want to show you guys some of the things that I got. Before I begin, I just want to start by saying the New Forest is absolutely beautiful. I didn't film that much of it for this vlog, but I did take loads of beautiful photos, and I'm going to do a cutaway now of some of the footage that I shot just while I was in cabs or on buses going from village to village in the New Forest, because when I tell you, it made me cry several times just how beautiful it is there, and how, you know, the roads that connect the villages are in the middle of forest land. So it's unbelievably gorgeous just to look out of the window as a passenger on your way from place to place. There is just, you know, so much greenery, so many beautiful scenes that you go past, so many horses roaming around, and ponies and stuff, and it's just stunning. You can kind of look out into all of those trees and all of those different epic parts of forestry and really envision yourself into them. You know, you can imagine yourself into like Hansel and Gretel, or some kind of beautiful fairy tale, or, you know, meeting witches in there, or meeting like, you know, Prince Charming in there. It really made me like, it connected very strongly to my inner child. It was just really, really beautiful use of time, money and energy to be there. And I have absolutely no regrets that out of all the places on the planet I could have chosen, I decided to spend my birthday in the New Forest. It was very rejuvenating, very enlivening, and I will never forget it. So yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, the whole thing looked like a goddamn painting. It looked like a goddamn folk tale. It was stunning, and I feel super privileged to have just been there for a few days. Yeah, really, really beautiful. Well worth a visit. Yeah, okay, so I want to show you some of the things that I got. I'm pretty upset right now because on top of being unwell and not feeling like my best at all, and possibly needing to cancel tomorrow night when I was supposed to be going out for some drinks with a couple of my most important girlies, which I'm pretty upset about. On top of that, I realised that when I fell asleep earlier after I saw my two clients, I managed to kick a blanket off of my bed, and it managed to land on a bottle of soy sauce that I had left on a little tray on my floor. And the soy sauce knocked over and went into my suitcase, which I had earlier ripped open because I needed to get my laptop out of it, because my assistant needed something from me off the laptop. So the soy sauce dribbled into my into my suitcase while I was sleeping, and went onto a couple of books that I bought while I was there. So I had no opportunity to try and rectify this immediately because I didn't know it was happening because I was unconscious. So the book of English fairy tales that I bought in Burley now has this on the bottom of it and smells very strongly of soy sauce. Obviously, I'm hoping that once this dries, it's not going to look anywhere near as bad on the parts of the writing, but yeah, that's disappointing. It's a second-hand edition of English fairy tales, and the reason I bought it was not only because I like owning books of fairy tales, but also because there's a post-it in the front that says, "These stories were written by Joseph Jacob, 1854 to 1916. Why he is not named or given credit, I cannot imagine." So this person actually went out of their way to make sure before they passed this on to a second-hand shop that they let everybody know who the fuck is responsible for writing these stories. And let's just hope that Joseph Jacobs was cut a check, because if not, that is an outrage. You can't just take people's editions of fairy tales and just put them in a book and publish. So Wordsworth Classics, I hope you cut Joseph Jacobs some kind of check, or his estate anyway. His estate, because he died in 1916. So yeah. Wait a minute, when was this published? let's have a look. The last time this was published was 1994. Yeah, so you still would have had to give credit. I mean, I think you have to anyway. You just don't have to pay the writer after 100. How does it work? I can't remember. My hair is all over the place and I am ill as fuck and I'm not thinking straight. And I have no idea why I'm doing this, aside from the fact that I feel incomplete without finishing the vlog and sending it over to my editor. So I feel like I really want to do this. So let me show you some of the other things I purchased in the New Forest. I know that I'm going to forget some stuff that I bought, but this is everything I can remember to show you, okay? So a little haul. Okay, so in Burley, I bought that English fairy tales book that I just showed you, which is covered in soy sauce. And I also bought this book by Claire Belenis, or Belenis, Beleni, I don't know how you pronounce that, but Runic Magic Through Movement. Basically a system of using movement to represent the runes, and spells, suggested spells for every rune. Love this. This is right up my alley. This is the kind of thing that I would sit around and try and figure out on my own, like some kind of system of movement for every rune. It's just really great. It's like runic yoga. So super pleased with that. Can't wait to get into that. And I also bought this book by Gemma Foster on sacred geometry. Sacred Geometry, How to Use Cosmic Patterns to Power Up Your Life. I absolutely loved all of the colour illustrations in this and just the sheer amount of information that it looks like it goes into. I do understand about sacred geometry, but I don't understand anywhere as much as I want to about it. So I'm definitely going to devour this book. And of course, like, yeah, just really enjoy the fact that it's very highly illustrated. There's a lot of colour illustrations here to break everything down. And I really liked the look of certain chapters in the book that I can't wait to get into. So some of the chapters are called Body, the ratio of the human body, its holographic anatomy and energy centres. Creation, the birth of our universe, the building blocks of life and sacred systems. Number, a numerical journey through the patterns and sequences of existence. And there was one part about DNA that really struck me as interesting when I opened it up in the shop a little bit, just to see if I wanted it. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it now, but there was stuff in there about the sacred geometry of DNA itself, you know, and I was just like, okay, I want this. This looks really interesting. The state of my hair, guys. The state of my hair. Okay, we're just rolling with it. We're rolling with it. We're having some raspberries. Right. I'll show you what I got. So, clothes first. I thrifted 3 pieces of clothing. I thrifted this amazing jumper, which I've now realised also has a splash of soy sauce on the back. What the hell happened while I was asleep? That's my question. A soy sauce goblin came in. But yeah, very, very cute jumper. Totally not my usual style. But I imagined, like, I'm going to wear this with sports shorts and, like, badass jewellery and just make it work. Because I love it. And I saw it the first day when I did a little bit of thrifting in the village. And then I didn't get it. And when I went back the next day, it was still there. And I was like, I actually want it. I'm taking it home. I love the colour. It's like a corally pink. Really nice. I also thrifted this blue jumper. I do not need jumpers, but I have an obsession, okay? I have an addiction. So yeah, I also thrifted this stunning blue jumper. It's just such a beautiful colour, and I don't have a jumper of this colour in my collection, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. And I also thrifted this shirt, which is not super high quality, the shirt itself, but I just like the print, the green and gold. I'm wearing a green dress for the New Year party that I'm going to, and I want a shirt to go over it. And I was going to wear my gold shirt, but now I think this might be a strong contender to go over it, because it's quite a revealing, tight, plunging neckline type of dress, which I love, and I'm going to put all the gold jewellery with it, and it's going to be stunning. But later in the night, when I'm just sat around on the floor at 4 a.m. with my friends talking, I would like to have something that I can sort of drape over, so that my the girls aren't on display all night, right? So yeah, I'm gonna put this on over it. I think this is really, really lovely. I love it. So those are the clothes. Oh no, wait! I also got a pashmina Again, not super high quality. Well, no, yeah, it's got a little bit of thread unpicked in it, which I need to cut. But look how pretty. Look how pretty it is, and it's really soft and it's tasseled. And I was just like, you know, I don't usually go for things like this unless they are high quality. But in this case, I made an exception for a lower quality because it's so pretty. Oh, and the back of it is all like the white side. And that's just as pretty. Oh my gosh, look at it. Oh, God, it's so lovely. So yeah, no, I couldn't leave without it. It's just really, this is up my alley. This is the style of pink. I love pink. Yeah, so this is the thing that I'm into. Yes, this is beautiful. Okay. I also got the skirt that I showed you in the hotel. Really love this. And I got a black polo neck, which is somewhere over there. It's just a black polo neck, guys, right? Like I said, Steve Jobs era. Okay, so in the woodwork shop, I got a few little things. I got this tiny little mushroom, this little totem. I think it's really cute. It's just a standard like carved wooden mushroom. And I got it because my brother used to carve mushrooms. There's a giant wooden carved mushroom in my mum's living room that my brother made. And there's a story that his boss told to us at the inquest about how Nick was actually also finished another carved mushroom, which was supposed to be for his girlfriend. But a client liked it who came in to pay them for something, and my brother ended up giving it to them because I think the client actually thought it was for them, like a complimentary carved mushroom. And I don't think my brother had the heart to tell them like it's for my girlfriend. So he gave it away to a client. They have no idea how priceless that is to us. But yeah, so I got myself a little mushroom totem. That's a classic Nick story, right? I also got this wooden carved spoon for my altar. Look how gorgeous that is. Very, very New Forest. I'm going to use my hair to frame it. I'm in love with it, and it's got a little leaf carved on it. So I'm just really, really keen on that. I'm going to use it for when I've used my mortar and pestle. I've got a Himalayan salt mortar and pestle, pink salt, and I want to have this with it so that I can scoop up whatever I've mortar and pestled. And yeah, so I decided to get that. I also got my very first chess set. So I've never owned a chess set. I used to have a little plastic one that came out of some sort of very pricey Christmas cracker. I've only just recently found out that Americans don't have Christmas crackers, by the way, guys. Apparently it's becoming a thing over there, but it's not really a tradition. So welcome to the world of Christmas crackers. We hope you enjoy the crappy jokes and the paper hats and everything. So yeah, I used to have a little plastic chess set that was from a Christmas cracker, and it was about like that big. And I loved it, but I don't know where it went to. I think I gave it away to somebody. So in the woodwork shop, I saw a collection of various different size chess sets. And I thought, you know what? I want a chess set. So I treated myself to this wee little chess set. How cute is it? I love it. Yeah, my best friend has a big glass chess set, and we're going to play chess together on Christmas Day this year. So I need to up my game because I know that he is quite good. So definitely want to make sure that I don't screw myself over there. But it's nice to have a travel chess set. And I'm going to enchant this chess set because I have this deep desire in me for some reason that one day I will play chess on this baby with the next love in my life. I am currently very, very single, guys, okay? There's been a couple of close calls, but it wasn't right. And I was just like, no, I need to remain strong in my core and realise that I'm waiting for something, and the something is not here yet, you know, and it's okay. I'm fine on my own. But I bought this chess set, and as I bought it, I was like, I want to go on a caravan holiday with someone that I am in love with to like somewhere in Scotland where you can see dolphins and play this chess set. Or I want to like do van life with someone and play this chess set in the back with a little reading lamp. I've just got a vision of playing chess on this with someone I'm in love with. So that's what this is being enchanted for. Okay. So before we get into the jewellery, because I did thrift some jewellery as well, I want to mention that, you know, I talked about the cream tea that I got at the Greenwood Cafe in Lyndhurst. Well, they were selling the clotted cream that they make on site, this fabulous vegan clotted cream. And I could not leave without a pack of this clotted cream. Apparently it expires on the 26th, but you can freeze it. So I'm going to pop it in the freezer and I'm going to have cream tea with my 2 friends just after Christmas. This is stunning. This cream is absolutely boss. I will leave the link down below for anybody in the UK or beyond if they send it off, but I don't know if they would do, probably not. It's probably for the best that they don't. But yes, I'm going to put the link down below for anyone who would like to try some of this. I fully could not recommend this more. It's stunning cream and it will give you a really authentic cream tea and no animals needed to be hurt during that cream tea, which is beautiful. Oh yeah, before I get to the jewellery, actually, there's another thing I got from the woodwork shop and it was this beautiful timer that does 3 sets of time with colour sand. And I'm sorry, I'm really ill. I love colour sand timers and always have. And on the top and bottom, it says 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And that is for my altar as well. I looked at it and I thought, I want to do some like mini workings and time myself doing various chants and time myself doing various things. I want this. So this is going on my altar. Look how perfect. Look how perfect it is. I love it. 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Perfect. Okay, let's get into the jewellery. So I got a few bits of jewellery. I got this little bracelet, like glittery bracelet that's magnetic. Cost me no money. It was like £1. But I really like it. I haven't seen anything quite like it. It gives me a little girl party bag type of vibe, but it's also kind of a bit cocktaily as well. So I really love that. So I got that. I also got this. This is classic Kellyanne, classic me, to get this kind of very chunky silver. It's like a dirty silver type of look. I really love it. It looks like it's really old and piratey. I need to tighten up the elastic a little bit because you can see it's kind of separating slightly. This is my permanent version there. So yeah, I really like this. Very beautiful. Very happy with that. I got some necklaces as well. I got this leaf motif necklace. I think I'm going to wear that for New Year with my green dress and the shirt that I showed you earlier. Gold and green is always to be seen. I tried to talk myself out of this one because I do have some things like it. And I try not to buy too many things, whether it's clothing, jewellery or anything else, if I already have something that's a bit like it. You know, I like to try and keep the variety. At my age, if you buy everything you see that you like and you can afford, it's going to be ridiculous if you're into thrifting, you know. But I couldn't leave without it. There's just something about it that's just really regal and beautiful. And I was like, you know, I'm going to... Sometimes every so often I get something for myself, not because I don't have anything like it, but because it symbolises a certain time in my life and a certain thing that I was going through and I want to remember it, you know? So I bought it for myself as a gift. I also got this very cheap and cheerful silver necklace. It's not real silver. It's got like little ball bearing things on it. Little baubles. I thought it was very festive, very delicate, and I really like that as well. And I actually do like to team up silver and gold, so I probably would go for both of these, to be honest. I think they complement each other quite nicely. If you made one of them, yeah, that one would have to be up there where yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Those two together. I also got this beautiful necklace full of hearts, and they have words written on them. They're gold and silver. Again, I really love the clash of gold and silver. I'm really keen. I try and do a bit of both most of the time. If I'm wearing silver, I will try and find a little bit of gold to offset or vice versa. And I just really love this. And the words on the hearts say peace, love, dream, and honour and forever. And the reason I got it was because I've never seen hearts with honour written on them before, and I like that word. It's very connected to my patron god, Tyr, the Norse goddess of oaths, war, honour, loyalty, keeping the faith. And so I really like that. I've just never seen hearts with the word honour written on them. I've definitely got a heart with peace written on it and a heart with love written on it. Like, those ones are more common. But to see the word honour on some hearts is, not as common. So I really love that. I was going to cut up the hearts and do something else with them, like cut them off the rope, off of the thread. But actually, no, I really love this as it is. I think it's really beautiful against the skin. So, not right now because my skin's all over the place going hot and cold, so that's not very nice. Darlings, I'm sure I might have purchased one or two other things while I was there, but I can't really remember right now. And those are the main things that I remember that I got, that I'm really pleased with, that I treated myself to. So I'm going to go and freeze my vegan clotted cream from the Greenwood Cafe, and going to see if I can rescue my English fairy tales by popping it on a heater for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to crash out to some Twin Peaks because I love Twin Peaks and I'm ill as fuck. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this very random vlog. Thank you for accompanying me on some of my solo birthday shenanigans. I will see you in the next video. Please leave any comments down below. Much love and blessed be.
I think they're sleeping. I really feel like they're sleeping. Yeah, they've all got their eyes closed. They're sleeping. Oh, reminds me of Brokeback Mountain. You sleeping on your feet like a horse.